Hey, good morning, everybody. Yeah, we need the morning shot, not the evening shot here. So let's switch over. Yeah, good morning. It is rainy out here in sunny Knoxville, Tennessee. I always use the same kind of background, but it's raining out there right now. Kind of gnarly. Morning, John. How's it going? This is a day off in the market, but not really. Futures moving. The jobs report coming out this morning showing some unemployment changes. Unemployment dropping back after the sudden bounce last month, a little uptick last month, back down. Labor participation coming back up, especially in the prime working age. So back to 2019 levels, they say, pre-COVID levels. So that's good to see. I figured that would happen as the bonus money dried up off of SNAP benefits, the extra SNAP benefits. Yeah, Kimberly's out getting her hair cut this morning. I think that's what she told me. Anyway, so we may not see her in the chat, but hey, Shane, Al, let's jump into a special crypto-centric version of this. So all trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Past performance not necessarily indicative of future results. I may be full of crap. This presentation here, informational, educational, and fun, is not a recommendation to buy or sell any financial instrument. If you desire that personal financial advice, you need to hire and consult a financial advisor that has your best interest in mind. They have a fiduciary responsibility to take care of you, especially if they're a certified financial advisor. All right, moving on. So what do we have today? Well, let's go ahead and talk about the calendar. So pop back up to the jobs from yesterday, or from today, last week. Looking ahead into next week. Let's jump back to this week, down to Friday. So right here, need to refresh because there we go. So average hourly earnings coming in at 0.3%. The non-farm employment change, 236K jobs, slightly above the 228 expected. Unemployment rate kicking down to 3.5, and like I said, we saw an uptick in labor participation, and I have that on a tab that right here. So March payrolls are actually the lowest in 27 months. In line with expectations, unemployment rate, hourlies drop. So we roll down through here, and prime age working back to pre-COVID levels. Interesting, right? And I mean, it's just a mediocre picture of everything. So a breakdown: leisure and hospitality added 72,000 jobs in March, lower than the average monthly gain of 95,000 over the prior 6 months. So hospitality and restaurants and leisure places not hiring as aggressively as we've seen. So is that weaker demand on restaurants? I don't know. Anyway, government employment increased by 47,000 in March. I mean, whew, that's a lot of new government employees out there. That's a lot. But I mean, look at our giant economy, 300 million people. I mean, it's just a blip on the radar, but that's still, I mean, hey, Goose, good to see you. Andreas, Valerie, morning, everybody. Ed, morning. All right. So anyway, back to the jobs. It is moving the futures. The futures are open till 1 o'clock today. Despite what you may be thinking, if you trade ES spreads like I do, that spread's moving. We saw a little pop on this news, actually a little volatility on this news. We pop over here and go to our normal morning monster list. ES just getting a little volatility. Yesterday I gave my bias to sideways, possibly down. We kind of made a lower low and then just made an inside candle basically for the day before. Today getting a little positive action, just a little bit, nothing big. I mean, we're talking 8 points here. A big day, historically, a big day on ES is 30 points. So we've got 8 points so far, positive. We did the whole range on the thing is, let's see, high to low. I mean, we've seen about a 25-point day from the low to the high. I mean, that's a pretty average day for lately. I mean, you look back through here, it's quite on the small side compared to what we've had lately. Historically, it's on the small side, actually. So, chill day today, closing at 1 p.m. So, not expecting a ton of movement since most of the stock market is closed. We're not going to have a regular open at 9:30. So today I brought crypto. Now, you may say, JT, where do you even find cryptos, right? Well, let's go through a few things. Yeah, all the new IRS agents. Yeah, I was looking at something on that too. I didn't pull off my phone. I'll throw it in Discord for you. A couple of interesting charts. How in 2022, if you made more than $1 million, you had like I think it was less than a 1% chance. I'll have to throw it in Discord, but I think it was less than a 1% chance to get audited. But if you made less than $25,000, it was like a 12% chance of getting audited. I don't know. I think that's just. I don't even think that's just the numbers game. So, but they do count. They have shifted from in-person audits back in the early 2010s. The popular thing they do right now is send you a letter asking for more information about something you put on your taxes, and that's considered an audit under their statistics. I was reading an in-depth article about the whole thing. I was reading that this morning. It's quite fascinating. I took a couple screenshots. Like I said, I'll drop them in Discord. So Russell actually showing some strength, probably more strength than NQ or ES. And it does have opportunity to catch up, especially if we break back above this high. Probably not gonna happen today, and we'll see what happens on Monday. Now, popping around, how do you find crypto, right? I'm kind of rambling, bouncing all over the place. Well, CoinMarketCap, one of my favorite places here. They list all sorts of recently added, top trending. They've got 23,235 cryptos that they're tracking on here right now, with over 600 exchanges. Now, I get asked all the time, JT, what's your favorite exchange? There's 600 of them. I mean, some of them are defunct, but with 600 exchanges, I only have a couple that I deal with. A couple, it's actually quite a few when you consider, and probably a bunch of mine aren't even listed on here because I tend to use a few that are brokers, like Webull, Tasty Trade, Robinhood. Those aren't going to be actual exchanges. So the ones they're talking about on here, if we click the link, like Binance, Coinbase, Kraken, KuCoin, Bitfinex, Bybit, Bitstamp, Gate.io, OKX, Binance US, Gemini, Upbit, Bitflyer, MEXC, and the list goes on and on and on and on and on. There's 600 of these babies. So now, one thing to note is the trading volume on these top ones is going to be much more significant. And I haven't really figured out how they order stuff on here. I guess it's the average liquidity, maybe. No, because there's a 500 and then there's a 600. So I'm not really sure how they do their ordering and scoring. Because I guess maybe it's just the score is how they do it, whatever the score entails. I haven't really paid attention to this before, but Binance is listed on top. Coinbase coming in underneath them. Looks like transaction volume on Binance, $7 billion in the last 24 hours, whereas Coinbase only 760, a paltry $760 million. So Binance worldwide obviously has a lot more volume pushing around on there. And recently the subject of some IRS and SEC inquiry, but the person running Binance doesn't seem to give a flying floop. Anyway, Kraken coming in here way less. KuCoin actually coming in higher than Kraken, but the score, whatever that entails, I'm not getting into it for This is just a website's score on these guys. So, like I said, I use Tasty Trade. I'm not sure where the execution happens. It goes through Apex Crypto, and who knows if that's actually down here anywhere. I do use Crypto.com's exchange quite a bit. You can see it's coming down here at about 100 million, down 20%. And this is just 24-hour transaction volume. So. All right. Cryptos, of course, 23,000, over 23,000 cryptos. Crazy. I don't see us using worldwide more than, what, 100? I mean, it's just ridiculous when you look at how many cryptos are on here. And a lot of them have basically gone to zero. I'd say probably 80% of these, maybe 90%, maybe 99% of these don't really transact much volume, don't have much market cap, but they're listed and they're still around. It doesn't take a whole lot to make your own crypto and push it out, but to get listed on CoinMarketCap, it does take a few things. You got to run some servers and this, that, and the other. So there are scams out here. These are not all going to be legit cryptos. Now the market cap, you can see we're climbing, and we'll talk about that on TradingView here in just a minute. And TradingView has a little bit different tracker. They don't track all 23,000. They have a little different list of coins, but we're in an uptrend now. We've kind of bottomed. I suspected we bottomed back here in around November, and I put it in Discord for my crypto followers. Now, if you're interested in following me more on crypto, links in the description. And make sure you're subscribed to the channel here if you want to comment and chat with us. And while you're doing that, you might as well hit the notification, because I'm going live again on Monday before the market opens. So, all right. There's the total value of crypto coming in at $1.17 trillion, according to this. Now, why they hold it that if everybody wanted to liquidate their crypto all at once, you would probably only be able to get about 10% of this liquidity. That's the same for 10% of this market cap value. That's the same for just about any asset, like, Apple at $1 trillion, or however many trillions they're worth right now. If everybody tried to liquidate Apple stock and get out, I'd say there's probably only maybe 100, maybe $200 billion that would be able to be cashed out before it went significantly lower, that the stock would be worth very little. So, Tasty Trade uses Apex in the background. They're the custodian. They're the trader. It's like Apex Crypto, I think it is, or maybe that's Webull. I'm getting them confused. I don't know all the fine details. I hold just a small bit of crypto at Tasty Trade, and you can't take it off exchange. So it's just a trading platform for crypto. Webull also does not allow you to take it off exchange. Robinhood does. You got to go where you plan. So this is not going to be a comprehensive how to trade crypto morning. Now, I've shown this a few times in the past, stock heat map. Now, if you didn't know, there is a heat map for crypto. Oh, thunder. Nice. That was a big, long thunder. Right here, click on, so all I did, come to products on TradingView, come down to heat maps. You can get stocks or you can get cryptos. I opened cryptos here in a new tab. Now we'll look at the performance for the day. Let's look for stuff we're moving. Usually we're looking for stuff moving for the day. So, Tasty may use zero hash. I'm not jumping into it too bad. Yeah, Webull's Apex, and then I know that Tasty's stock interface is on Apex, so they're using zero hash. I don't know. There's a whole. If you want to know about it, go to the website and dig into the crypto point. I mean, that's so anyway. I like to turn off a few things here, and we can see what's moving. I have the performance for the day. You can go down to performance for an hour if that's what you prefer. Here's the performance for a day. I like to turn off all the stuff that's, since crypto is hard to short, it's not impossible. You can go to some brokers. Some of those 600 brokers will let you short crypto, but for the most part, Most of the ones available to us here in the US, it's not very easy to short crypto, so I usually look for stuff that's moving up, and here's all the stuff that's moved up in the last 24 hours. I've picked out some of the popular ones and then some of the more obscure ones and thrown them in the Morning Monster list that we'll go through. Now, if you wanted to find out more about these, like Ultra, never heard of Ultra, pop it up. You can see the chart here. You can find out about it. You can see more advanced charts. You can actually click that button and pop it right in and start looking at the Ultra chart. So these are available. And some stuff it has extra details, some stuff it doesn't. Right here, it does not have extra details. On this one, just tells you the circulating supply and the market cap and the total supply. All right, this is, not a whole lot of information, like I said. Now, if you were to go look at Ultra on CoinMarketCap, UOS, USD, UOS, gotta have the ticker, UOS, Ultra right there. You can search for it. This one, CoinMarketCap, this is one of the reasons I like this. You scroll right down here, it tells you all about it. Like, what is it? I do highly recommend you read this. If it sounds like a scam, or it sounds fishy, or you don't understand crap in here, then you probably shouldn't be trading it. Just throwing that out there. It's kind of my universal rules. Like, if there's a stock and it doesn't make money and it sounds like a scam, then don't trade it. It's kind of my underlying theme on all this stuff. So all sorts of information on here, and then you come down here and it tells you where it gets traded. You can click the button to see all markets, and you can see all 26 places that CoinMarketCap tracks that this trades. And you can see the prices are not necessarily exactly the same at all the different exchanges. Crypto works in an island effect. Every exchange runs their own prices. There is no centralized clearinghouse. All right, arbitration between these different exchanges by more affluent traders is how these prices get stabilized across a crypto. And you can see wide variety of prices, even on something like Ethereum. Hit the button there. There we go, Ethereum. Even on something like Ethereum, when we come down here to the markets, you can actually see several dollars difference in the price of Ethereum, even with its high liquidity. Like there's a 19.8 right there on that particular pair, while the rest of it's, there's an 18.3. That's almost $80 difference between this one down here and this one up here. So that's arbitration opportunity for those affluent enough to do it. Looks like they have the top 100 listed, and you can load more. So there are people that bounce around out here, going from exchange to exchange, arbitrating the price. There is opportunity to make that money, so that exists out there as a potential. Now, you're probably not going to make a whole lot when the difference is, like between Coinbase and Binance, is like $1.20. You see those two prices there, about $1.20 difference. So some people might find that, but the transaction fees are going to eat you up there. But these exchanges have people that they cut deals with to add liquidity and do that arbitration between exchanges. So that's just something that something that exists out there, and it's similar to Forex. The same sort of situation exists in the Forex market. Forex is a bunch of islands. There is no centralized clearinghouse for Forex. The different brokers have arbitration between them to bring the prices back into balance on currencies. So same situation exists in crypto that exists in Forex. If you're unfamiliar with those concepts, welcome to the party. Anyway, explaining advanced concepts of crypto. All right, Bitcoin, just hanging out. That's what, 2 weeks hanging out sideways. Remember, it never sleeps, so there's no weekend to take out. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's 2 weeks. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. That's 3 weeks. So I've been hanging out 3 weeks, consolidating right here. We look at the last time Bitcoin did that. Right down here. 3 weeks, kind of, a little bit fatter of a range, but 3 weeks sideways, we made a big pop. 3 weeks sideways over here, and we made a big drop. So, are we going to pop? Are we going to drop? I give credence to a pop right now because the pattern shows we are likely to continue right on higher just a little bit. We'll see what actually happens, but we could be seeing a pop right up to the mid 30,000s, like 33, 34, 35, 36,000, possibly even up to 40,000. We'll have to see. This is kind of a little head and shoulders pattern right below this channel. And this kind of was another channel. We've popped into this channel, a higher channel. These were channels from going down, and they were established. It's kind of like a stair step of channels as we went down. We can stair step the channels as we pop back up. When we popped up into a higher channel and consolidate, probably go retest the top of the channel, consolidate, and then potentially break out to the new higher channel again. That's one way to look at it. Another way to look at it, we have an Elliott wave kind of 1-2 potential to pop right up in this zone around the 32 to 34,000. There's a few confluence items that come up that show it's probably going to go higher. Now, it could retrace to the daily roadmap line. That is back down around 24,000. We could make that retrace, come down here, test it before we pop higher again. So all those paths are kind of possible on Bitcoin. Now, Ethereum was pushing up higher, made a higher high. I was expecting it to hit 2,000. It came up a little shy. I actually missed my alert right at 1951. I did get an alert from another broker that we hit 1951, but this is Coinbase data, and we did not quite touch it. So getting a little bit of pullback, possibly going to extend one more time up there. Not quite sure, but we're probably going to do a retrace. This one is a little more advanced in the pattern. We bottomed back here in the summer, made a higher low late in the year, whereas Bitcoin made its lowest low right here in November. So Ethereum made its low back here in June, and is likely to get one more little squiggle up and then retrace back to the roadmap line, just because all this stuff is more advanced in the pattern. All right, probably retest this high from right here in August. That's what I'm kind of expecting, and then get a retrace. Hold the roadmap line and then break out. Matic has a beautiful setup, but it's just not going. Potential entry above 130. This was my chart of the week in Discord from a couple weeks back. Maybe it wasn't in Discord. Maybe it was just on the newsletter. But a break above 130 sets us up to go to a conservative target of 210 and higher. And down here, we need the 618 to hold. If this thing breaks down, the whole pattern can be voided out. Like if we get a lower low than back here, watch out. We break down below 75, it's definitely broken. Now, this holding with a higher low here just gives it more credence that when this pops, it's more likely to go on up to these more conservative or more aggressive targets, 265, possibly even 343. Full disclosure, I do own like 600 Matic right now. I think maybe more than that, maybe closer to 700. So I do have a few hundred Matic coins. Looking for that pop. All right. You know what? Neat trick in TradingView. BTC USD divided by ETH USD. Right here, we can get a chart. Approximately 15 Bitcoin. 15 US dollars. And the Bitcoin to Ethereum ratio. So 15 Ethereum per Bitcoin. Excuse me. Get my numbers right. We've just been consolidating right here at the bottom. So there is a higher low here. This is a potential for this thing to get going that way. That would mean Bitcoin outperforms Ethereum. Now look at it the other way. You can do math on the right in the symbol search if you didn't know. You flip it over the other way, put your Ethereums to Bitcoins. This is the way I usually track it because it was going up. But currently, we're not going up any longer. We may roll over and retrace down. I'll clear this out. If this does it 1, 2, 3, we're looking at a ratio down here in these zones right here. It's kind of the dominance here. Yeah, Litecoin has a halving event in August. We can talk about Litecoin. I don't think I put it on the list because it wasn't moving. Anyway, that looks like we could see a Bitcoin outperformance over Ethereum if this thing actually pops. Could see it up in this zone right here. Right back here, it looked like this was going to be aggressive. This actually kind of corrective right there, up, and could go down lower. We could see it drop off lower, but right now, that's a higher low. Just kind of squeezing. And squeezes are not my favorite pattern to be able to predict anything out of. So we may just chop in this zone, pick it up. And what's funny is, isn't it 15-to-1 is the gold-silver ratio? That's what we're sitting at Ethereum, Bitcoin. It's kind of funny. Anyway, and that's gold-silver ratio. That's what's found in the Earth's crust is what I'm talking about, not the price. Apecoin, this one made up from the Bored Ape Yacht Club and priced in USDT because that's the best I could find. Tether is USDT is a stable coin, so pegged at $1. So essentially, this is Ape coins over dollars. Why dollars? I think in dollars. I'm in the US. It just makes it easy for me to comprehend when I talk about cryptos in dollar terms. Really, you could talk about dollars in crypto terms, and those kind of pairs do exist. But in euros and Canadian dollars and whatever currency, those pairs do exist. But I think about them in dollars. So I like to compare everything in dollars. And when we did the Bitcoin Ethereum ratio, we were canceling out the dollars. My nose has stopped up a little bit this morning. So this one, doing a squeeze cut type of thing. It's not really moving. Even though this has been a pretty popular coin since it came out, it's actually seems to be decaying a bit. It's settling down, not looking overly bullish. Now that could be a pattern to pop out of here, but that's kind of squeezing down right now. Not looking awesome. Below the roadmap line, just not something I'm interested in. Doge was making a pop this week because Twitter changed their logo. Elon Musk, changed their logo to be the Doge coin. He did that, I guess, for April Fools, and it was like part of a settlement deal. He did a settlement with the judge and kind of dismissed whatever, and so it was like alleged that he was doing a giant pump and dump with Twitter and Doge. Whatever. I mean, go Google it if you want to know more about it. Anyway, he flipped the Doge icon and replaced the Twitter icon on the website, and was just a big FU to everybody. But you can see the pop didn't last, didn't really make a higher high than we saw back here in November, and it's probably going to go down and make a lower low because we just came off a lower low. This thing just continuing to look horrible. One of the things I do like to look at on CoinMarketCap, go back to the main, when you come down here and you look at a coin, when it has a gray bar here, it has a somewhat of a capped supply. Now, I do encourage you to go read about it and see if that's a true cap supply or if it's just an intermediate cap supply. Like Ethereum right here has no cap supply, even though currently they are deflating it and burning off Ethereum and reducing supply. There's no fixed cap at all. Bitcoin up here does have a cap of 21 million coins. There's about 19 million that have been minted out and are in circulation. Some of those alleged to be lost and not actually in circulation. It's estimated about 16 million maybe liquid, maybe less than that, maybe only like 8 million actually liquid. So some of these other ones like Doge down here, they mint 10,000 of these suckers every couple minutes. So that means Doge has to absorb that much supply just to keep the price stable. Has to absorb 10,000 coins every, whatever the mining cycle is, 1 minute, 5 minutes, I don't remember. I think maybe it's 10 minutes. Bitcoin's block is 10 minutes, so Doge, I can't keep track of all of them. I mean, there's umpteen godzillion of them. All I know is that Doge adds liquidity every few minutes, and that price has to absorb that liquidity just to maintain. Now, another one, and Doge was started as a joke. Like, they picked up a meme off the internet, and they're like, let's make a coin, and let's make it highly liquid. And it was always intended to just be a joke, and then all of a sudden it went from fractions of a penny up to 50 cents in 2020, 2021, and people are like, holy cow, I made bajillions of money. And they traded their Doge out for dollars, and other people got sucked in and are still holding their Doge, expecting it to go to $1. I don't think it's ever going to $1 as long as they keep adding the liquidity. Like, as long as 10,000 Doge are popping on the market every few minutes, like, there's no way this is ever going to $1. That's just my opinion. But it's economic principles too. Supply and demand. If supply is unlimited, demand is fixed, or even if demand is growing but supply is unlimited, your prices don't go up. All right. Polygon has a fixed supply, whereas Solana does not. Polkadot does not. I tend to stay away from the ones that do not have a fixed supply. Litecoin, like we were just talking about a second ago, or I can see in the chat, does have a halving event coming up in August. It's probably not talked about on here, but the mechanism for creating Litecoins is very similar to Dogecoins. Usually you mine them together. Excuse me if I speak wrong. Like I said, I try to keep a bunch of this stuff straight. Sometimes I get the details mixed up in my head, like I did with the Tasty Trade back end. There's only so much that pops around in here. Anyway, Litecoin and Doge kind of mine together, but Litecoin is fixed, whereas Doge is not. And Litecoin has a halving event and creates a potential opportunity. Not necessarily going to do it, but there's a potential opportunity for this to pop up in this 140, 150, 120 to 150 area into August. This particular chart doesn't have the halving event drawn on here. My crypto power plays updates do. This is a bullish pattern. If we break out the next move, probably sets us on a path to get up to this 150 area. And Litecoin could see a bigger pop. That's just the current target's right around there, 100. If we get over 106, probably going on up to 120 to 130. And if we can get a bigger move, we could see a pop up in this 250 to 300 area on Litecoin. Now, after we get past the halving event in August, I don't know. We'll have to see what happens there. Could be we could be on the Bitcoin halving. Bitcoin halving does occur in March. That's where the payout rate for mining a block of Bitcoin gets cut in half. And that's a catalyst for Bitcoin. The last halving event was 2020. And then we all saw what happened to crypto in late 2020 into 2021 as the halving event excitement played out, and then we went into crypto winter in late 2021 into 2022. That's a very predictable cycle that happens in Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin, why do we use Bitcoin? Because it is the king mother of crypto. This was the first one, and it's the biggest one, representing, we come over here to CoinMarketCap, you can see the dominance. 45.9% of the entire crypto value is in Bitcoin. Ethereum comes in at 19 right now, and then this ratio keeps being in flux a little bit. Ethereum saw a little bit of money flow back into it. It did drop down to about 18% a week or two ago, flowing back in a little bit. Bitcoin was up over 46%, now back down to 45.9%. Historically, they've been about 40-20, but I say historically, that's been the last couple of years. We've seen it about 40-20, but they keep bouncing around a little bit. So 60% of the entire crypto value tied up in Bitcoin and Ethereum. And when I talk about the total market cap, you can actually type in total right in TradingView and pick up the market cap. Coming in a little bit lighter, circling back around, is a little lighter than what we saw on CoinMarketCap. And we're hanging out right here below this high we had in August. That just happens to correspond to big tech, hanging out just below the high we had in August. So I look at crypto as a risk-on, risk-off asset. You may hear me say that in Discord or other places. When we have big tech is a risk-on, risk-off asset. All right. When the market decided to take risk off, big tech dropped more severely than the rest of the market. Some of the big tech stuff down over 60% in this pullback. Very consistent with what we saw in crypto. Crypto went from $3 trillion down to about $1 trillion, or a little less than $1 trillion. 730 billion right here. We went from right at $3 trillion down to about $730 billion. So losing over 60%, almost 70% of the value of crypto. Now coming back, retesting August. We break above this August and June consolidation. You remember what bottomed in June? Ethereum bottomed in June. Bitcoin bottomed in November. That makes these two spike downs as the money moved from one to the other. Now, we're sitting right here. A breakout above 1.33 trillion is probably going to take us up to this 2 trillion area. As we break out above 2 trillion, we'll test 3 trillion and then going up. I kind of expect this Bitcoin halving event, you can debate with me all you want. I kind of expect this Bitcoin halving event to see us hit the 6 to 10 trillion on the extension up here. Big, nice fat extension. Way up here, around 3618 to 4236. Somewhere up here around 9 trillion, basically. 6 is going to be weak. If we see that, that's just a double of what we saw. And we could see it, expand significantly, but I don't know. All right. Think about it this way. The gold market is about $13 trillion. And crypto sitting here at $1 trillion. Everybody talks about crypto being the new gold, replacing gold. Well, it hasn't even hardly scratched gold. It's more like the silver market. All right. So, moving on. Lots more to talk about here. SHIB is another one that has unlimited coins. Looks very bearish, not able to even get out of the funk here. Now it does have an opportunity to go up on this bullish pattern, technical pattern, but again, very similar to Doge in that it made a lower high and it didn't get that spike this past week. Looking like it's probably going to go head down here. And that's a lot of zeros and a 5, 0.000005. And currently it's at 0.00, a bunch of zeros and a 1. So about half the value. XRP, this one has had regulatory news lately and making a higher high, barely, but couldn't hold it. So same stuff I always talk about applies. We came up, hit a prior high, found supply, dropped off. This can retrace to the roadmap line. If it doesn't hold there, it can drop on down. If we break out above these highs and hold it, then we can look for something higher. But right now, that's not the most bullish thing I've ever seen on XRP. Whole bunch of sideways pop up and reject off of that level. And if we do retrace to here, hold it, and start making an attempt, then that would be the opportunity. And probably come up here and retest this consolidation right up here. All right, Solana. That looks bearish. Right? Same thing as looking at stock charts. Except there's not earnings, there's not news. This, going through 20,000 crypto charts can get you very well versed in looking at chart patterns without any kind of news to bias you. So, yeah, did I put Link on the chart? I don't know. Link wasn't moving. I picked up the movers off of I picked up a lot of the movers off this list right here. This is just picking up the day and grabbing them. I don't even see Link on here. I can talk about Link. I do talk about Link in my weekly crypto power plays update. I update about 50 cryptos and crypto adjacent stocks in that crypto power plays. If that's something you're interested in, links in the description. I'm not going to bore you with more details on that. Anyway, popping back over. And we can bring up Link. I mean, right here. Sideways. I mean, that's stuck on the roadmap line. That's a big sideways. Looks like continuation sideways. It's quite stable around $7. Gets dips. You can see I've charted lots of stuff on here. It's one I've talked about. But just kind of hanging out sideways. Not making a higher high. Not making lower lows. Has kind of a floor down here at 530-ish. And that one's not one that gets me excited. So ENJ, this one making a big mover list for today. Nice pop, still below, and just kind of inside. Still kind of sideways, just hanging out the roadmap line here. Now breaking above 55 cents, 56 cents. I can lead that one to higher prices. It does have somewhat of a bullish pattern here. Coming up off the low in December. Retracing right there. Could lead it to 83 if it's just, or 82 cents if it's just bearish, which corresponds to an area near this high right here. May find resistance in that area between 75 and 80. All right. Could, if we do get a move up through there, could see a move up into this $1 to $1.40 area. Next one up, Alchemy. Like I said, I just picked up the stuff that was moving today, loaded it up and popped them on. So actually looking for daily movers, as I said. This one does have resistance right there. Came up, hit it, retraced, hadn't been able to test it again. Even if it's bearish right there, could pop up to 15 cents. Consolidated right there back in February of last year. Gone nowhere essentially in about a year. Next up, Polkastarter, whatever. That looks like, even though moving for the day, that looks kind of boring and dead, consolidating at the bottom. That's the thing on a lot of these cryptos. Ant, which is Oregon. Not enough history to really do much. Opportunity to break out above 327 and extend. How much extension? Just have to use a basic retrace, probably up, maybe up to $4 potential. And it could really go, but right now that's about all we got. Could use one other way to do the fibs like this, possibly up to $5. Then I would expect another one of these retraces. This one, not a lot of history again, and looks to be on an uptrend. don't have a lot to work with. This was the pullback. That's the extensions. You can see hitting the resistance at the 2618. May see a pullback. We get another pullback that gives an opportunity for extensions. This one probably hitting 1618. Yep. Probably need a retrace on injection protocol or injective protocol. Audio. Again, not a whole lot of data. It looks sideways. Grail, Camelot, Tether. Had to use a Tether. Not a whole lot of history. A little bit of pop on a percentage-wise for the day. That was expensive, $2,377 for a coin. That one looks like it would probably go retest the lows. I'd be careful on that one. ICX it's been on a nice pop, get some move today. We break out through this zone. You can see, I do follow some of these more obscure coins. We get a breakout here, probably gonna pop up to this zone up here around 80 cents to $1. This one, pseudo, looks like going in the garbage, even though on a percent basis it's up today. Mirror protocol was seeing, I think this was on the movers, but it looks like it's gonna drop into oblivion here. XEM, just sideways chop. And UOS potentially breaking out here. Probably find resistance up here around 48 cents. Right here. We broke out through, see that level right there? And quickly take us up to this 50-cent area. Especially on a coin that has relatively low market cap. $100 million. You see I took a big bath right here, dropping from this zone around $1.30 down here in around 25 cents. Potential for it to break back up. And if you can get up there, go retest that area. All right. Yeah, you can, that's a good point there. Goose total market cap. You can do total divided by NQ1 exclamation point right there. There's your market cap of crypto divided by NQ. You can see we're just below November's high. August didn't really pop a high in here. They were moving together, so kind of flying together. You can see when NQ and total are diverging or converging with this chart. It's kind of a NQ is, big tech, total market cap of crypto, convergence, divergence type thing. All right. Hope you have a great day, everybody. The futures are moving a little bit, but again, not a big day. Crypto moving a little bit. It tends to be a little bullish on a 3-day weekend, but that's not a rule. That's just a general. That's what we see during the more bullish crypto times, which we're kind of leading into the halving events here. So this could be more bullish on crypto. Stay safe out there. I'll see you again soon. Like I said, on Monday, coming back at it. Have a great day, everybody. Stay safe out there. Have a great Easter.